Hey guys, what's up? It's Emily. Today I'm going to be doing a spring book haul. In the beginning of 2017 was crazy. I didn't really have time to do a lot of filming and stuff, and I realized I was only getting like a couple books a month and I didn't really feel like filming a book haul and editing it when I could have just done a huge spring book haul. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and since it's really almost the end of school for me, I'm concluding it as the end of spring, even though it's not really the end of spring yet. So yeah, I have a total of 12 books to share with you guys that I bought, and it was over the course of February, March, April, and May. So it's 3 books a month, about. That's not too bad in my opinion. So the first 2 books I bought were at this store at Lake of the Ozarks that always has paperbacks 60% off and hardbacks for 70% off, which is great. And there's not a huge selection of books that I know there, but I could always find a few that I want every time I'm kind of like in that area of the lake. So I went ahead and got Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is just a classic. I don't really know what it's about, but I know it's a classic, and it was 60% off. So it's typically, I always get a classic when I go there because they have a lot of classics. And while I was there, I also picked up Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 2nd book in the Natural series. I actually only have the 4th book, Bad Blood. So it's really awkward, so I'm trying to collect all of the books, but like every time I see it in Barnes & Noble, I know it's like, hey, that's like dollars and I don't really feel like paying that. So I'll either probably end up collecting the rest of the series, the 1st and the 3rd book, either through the same store, or I'll probably find them on Amazon if I can for any deals. So yeah, this series is about these group of kids who are basically profilers, and it's kind of like Criminal Minds but with teenagers, and so they use their skills of like being able to profile people, being able to detect any lie, being able to know any fact, and being able to read any emotion on your face, which is like each character has like a different little thing to them, and they use it to hunt down serial killers. And it's a really interesting series, and they're really fast, quick reads. They're not very long, and each book, I mean, there's kind of like an ongoing thing, but then there's each like separate cases. So it's a really nice series to kind of like read. Oh, you read the 1st book, and then a couple months later you read the 2nd book. You don't have to constantly continue to read it, which is nice, I think, in my opinion. The next book I ordered off of Amazon because I really needed it, and it was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I actually have book talks up for ACOTAR, The Court of Thorns and Roses, and ACOMAF, The Court of Mist and Fury. That's one. And I also went ahead and did one for ACOWAR, A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the 3rd and final book to these characters' arc. And then there's 3 new books coming out later with some of the same characters in this story, but like different main characters. I really highly suggest this series. It's amazing. If you haven't heard of it, I don't really know what to tell you. It's fantastic, and if you're not going to read this series, at least read Sarah J. Maas's other series in the class. They're both fantastic. I personally prefer this series better, I think, but either one's great. The next 3 books I got were The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, The Call by P. Dare O'Gillen. I am not sure if I'm pronouncing that name right at all. Winter Song by S.J. Jones. This book is about this girl named Star who lives in kind of like the ghettos, but she goes to this fancy prep school that's full of white kids, and she kind of lives this double life. One night she's at a party with some of her friends who live around in the same area, and a friend of hers is driving her home. They get pulled over by a cop, and the night ends with her friend getting shot by this cop, and he was completely unarmed. And Star is the only one who really saw what happened besides the cop, who of course is probably going to lie and make up stories about it. And she has to decide if she's going to tell her story or if she's going to keep quiet, because either way, both can end very badly and put her in a very dangerous situation. And this book is about a world, it's similar to ours but a little bit different. Ireland is kind of cut off from the rest of the world, and what's happening is this race of evil fairies called the Sidhe, or Sidehi, I don't know how to say it. They are taking every single teenager and they're putting them through something called the Call, where the Sidhe hunt you down and mutilate you and try to kill you. And it's decreasing the population, and basically their goal is to like kill everyone in Ireland off. It's really creepy and disturbing. And this book is about a girl named Liesel who grew up hearing these stories about the Goblin King. And as she had to grow up and face responsibility, she kind of lost her belief in him until her sister is kidnapped by him and she has to go track her down in the Goblin King's world. Is really highly suggested proper grammar. I just kind of realized I say that all the time, and I don't even think that's right. I really highly suggest it. I don't know. Oh man, and I want to be a book editor and I don't even know proper English. My life will be great, you know, it's great. The next book I picked up was Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. This is kind of the conclusion to her Lunar Chronicles series. I mean, you don't necessarily have to read it, but I think it's a bunch of novellas that are kind of take place after Lunar Chronicles. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that if you want more of the characters, this is really cute and adorable. And yeah, I don't really know much about it, but I just kind of picked it up because I'm reading Lunar Chronicles soon because I haven't read it yet, and I know that my friends said that I'm probably going to want this after I finish, so I went ahead and bought it. The next book I got was Sunrise by Mike Mullen. If you've seen some of my videos from like September or so, I talked about this series a lot. This is the third book in the Asheville series where the super volcano in Yellowstone erupts and leaves kind of the world in disarray, and the main character Alex is actually home alone. His parents are off in Missouri, he lives in Iowa when the volcano erupts, and he somehow has to make his way across Iowa to Missouri, which doesn't seem like a lot. But he's walking from Iowa to Missouri, and there's a bunch of acids falling, and then eventually snow, and there's a bunch of cannibals in it, and it's very chaotic, but it is amazing, and the series is very like underrated, so read it. I love this series so much, and Alex and Darla, the main couple, cute and adorable. The next book I got was actually, I won a giveaway from Goodreads, which is crazy because that never happens. It was only like 200 people and I had maybe like a 7% chance of winning, and I won, which is really cool. I was actually having a really bad day, and then Christine Pullen-Banna's books uploaded a video, and I commented on it, and the comment received like 200 and something likes, and it was the top comment for a while, which made my day, and Christine responded to it. Okay, you're all okay. No! Sunrise, why'd you do that? Later that day I got the email that I won a giveaway, and it was really weird because I had actually come home and cried, and I was just like, well, day's better now. And that book was Julia Vanishes by Katherine Egan. The next book I bought was A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This was a new release in May, and of course I had to go buy it the day it came out. I got it from Target, so I got the really cool signatures stamped in here, and there was a letter from her in here, which is really nice. Again, the same thing with Akamath. I will leave links down below to my other book talks and really suggest the series. Along with that same Target shopping trip, I was only supposed to go to Target to get the one book, right? But you know, Target has a habit of making a lot of things 20% off. So then I got oh my god, I can never say it. The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire, which is Dan and Phil's book. Dan is not on fire now, Daniel Howell. And the Amazing Phil, they're, you know, really popular YouTubers, and I love them so much. They're hilarious and very distracting and make me procrastinate every day. But I love them, and yeah, and so I got their book. It seems really cool. Like, I don't know, it seems really good. There's like Dan's face right there that kind of scared me the first time I opened it. See, it looks really cool, and I really wanted it. It's really short, plus I really wanted it, so I got it. And the last book I have to share with you guys is something that I'm trying to like branch out into because I typically don't read this genre, and that is Milk and Honey by, oh goodness, Rupi Kaur. I don't know, I'm really sorry, I can't pronounce things. But this is a really like short little book that is filled with really deep poetry, and I've looked at a few of them and I've really liked all of them. The longest time I thought I didn't like poetry because school makes it awful. Until this year where my English teacher actually gave us some more modern poetry to kind of dissect, and I kind of realized I kind of like poetry. And so I've been hearing really great reviews about this, and it's really short, and I'm actually really, really excited to read this. So yeah, that's my book haul. Oh, I have to try to hold them all, don't I? Oh my god. Oh, okay. Oh, well. Okay, here is my spring book haul. For the whole season of spring, I honestly don't think this is bad. If this is all in one month, then yes, that would be really bad. But it's not, so it's okay. So I keep telling myself that.